Hi, today on Nat Chats, I'm going to talk about the 3 worst reasons to decide not to sell your home. They are: number 1, because you're losing money. Number 2, you haven't found something you want to buy yet. And number 3, you want to wait until the market improves. Now, sometimes all of these can be valid reasons not to sell, but in my experience, more often than not, they're actually setting you up for failure, further heartache, and more losses down the track. And here's why. Number 1, because you're losing money. Now, many people that have bought properties since 2007 are likely to be facing making a loss when they sell, depending upon when they bought, how well they bought, what type of property they bought, and what improvements, if any, they've made to the home. When you're selling, you have to meet the market. Your property isn't worth what it owes you or what you need to make the move to your next home. It's worth what the best buyer in the prevailing marketplace is prepared to pay. And it's your agent's job, or your agent has lots of jobs, but its primary one is to try and find you the best buyer that's going to pay you the most amount of money. When we're faced with the possibility or probability of losing money, it causes us a sense of physical pain. Scientific studies prove that. And our emotions therefore tend to hijack our ability to think through the situation rationally and clearly. What's it costing you to hang on to your home? What's the cost of not moving now? If you've got a newer home or newer renovations, what's going to be the impact of depreciation on those? For example, is it possible that they're going to depreciate at a higher percentage rate than what the market is going to improve by? That's what's happened in previous years. If you hold on to your home and rent it out, what's the likelihood of wear and tear, and the likely then cost of repairing all of that as well at the end, as well as the taxation implications of going down that route? I've lost count of the number of clients that wish they'd bitten the bullet and sold years ago rather than hoping things to change and holding on. The question you need to ask yourself is, if you were to sell now, what would that look like? What would it enable you to do? Selling and buying in the same market is usually a smart move. If you wait for the value of your home to go up, the value of the home that you want to buy is going to increase in all likelihood too. And if that's to a more expensive suburb, it typically means that the gap between where you are now and where you want to be is going to start to widen. My best advice is that you get good advice to make sure that the decision to stay rather than sell is a rational one, where you've looked at and explored and worked through all of the different implications of each decision, and not be an emotional one where you're trying to protect yourself from experiencing that pain that comes with that sense of loss. Number 2, you haven't found something to buy yet. Lots of potential sellers tell me that they want to wait to sell their home until they find something that they really like to buy. Now, this is really a sound strategy for several reasons. The first is that it's actually very hard to get a subject to sale offer accepted. And if you're in competition with other buyers, particularly subject to finance buyers for a property, you're going to have no chance. Second, even if your subject to sale offer does get accepted, it's going to have a 2 business day condition, which means that it's likely to eventually be trumped by another offer and another buyer. And if you haven't sold yours yet, you're still going to lose the home. Third, buying subject to sale can put you under enormous financial pressure. Basically, you've gone shopping not knowing what you've got to spend. You may end up selling your home for less than what you hoped, and you may end up with a bigger mortgage than what you wanted or could comfortably afford. The far safer strategy is to actually sell first, so you know what you've got to spend. You're in a much more competitive subject to finance position when it comes to making offers, and you can buy with confidence. Number 3, you want to wait for the market to improve. Whilst it's a different reason to the first one of not wanting to make a loss, essentially it's actually the same. What you're saying is that you want more for your home. You feel like you're not getting enough money, and that if you wait for a better market, you will get more. Again, the things that you've got to weigh up, particularly if you're looking to make a move to a bigger home or better suburb, is the cost of the home that you want to buy going up to? Also, are you going to be impacted by depreciation? Now remember that the newer or more newly improved your house is, the more likely you're going to be impacted by depreciation. As a rule of thumb, it's a generalisation, but what goes up is the value of the land, where the value of the house actually is going down. Are you likely to need to spend more money on maintenance and updating your home by the time that you come to sell down the track? You need to always come back to the question of, if I were going to sell now, what would that allow me to do? Above all else, remember that when it comes to selling, it's your house. It's your decision if you were to go to market to take an offer or not. If you do decide to test the waters with selling, what's the worst thing that could happen? You get offers that are too low and you just say no, you reject them, or you get no offers, which sometimes can be worse, but at least it's the market clearly telling you that they don't see value at the price point you're asking. Either way, the only cost to you has been the marketing fees and having a few home opens, and now you've got clarity as to where you stand so you can make an informed decision. And the best case scenario, well, you get a good result in the market context, even a great one, and you can move on with your life and buy what you want, knowing how much you've got to spend in the same market. Winner, winner. As always, if you're thinking of buying or selling in the suburbs surrounding or nearby Beaufort Street, I would love to help. Call me on 0405 812 273 or email me at natalie@belcourtproperty.com.au. Have a great day.